남자의 순종, 헌신, 모르겠냐? 아, 나 진짜. 로이 교수님이 너네 엄마한테 간이시켜주려고.
Hello and welcome back to Actually Let's Talk About It with me, your host Lily, and I am finally back for the people who are watching on Patreon with episode 15 for Dr. Choi. It's been a week, I believe, since I've uploaded a reaction to Dr. Choi, so I'm getting right back into it. I was a little preoccupied with work and the Good Bad Mother episode reactions, but now I am back here to finish out Dr. Choi the series. So we're going to start with episode 15 here. So we had a lot going on in episode 14. We do know for sure Dr. Choi is getting a divorce. She done with that man. Kudos to her. But now we know that something is going on with her medically again. And it might be her liver. I'm hoping it ain't something else crazier. But she was bleeding in the last episode. She was like coughing up blood. So that's where it left off, and we are going to go straight into it and see what is going on, because life needs to let her win, okay? Because they can't keep having her go through all these changes, okay? That's all I'm going to say. And she deserves to not have to go through no more health issues, no more marital issues, nothing. It just needs to be smooth sailing from here on out. That's all I got to say. But yeah, we're going to get straight into the reaction. But before we get into the reaction, y'all, we got to do the Patreon shout-outs, okay? Okay. And the Patreon shout out, it's not just going out to one person today. Nay. It is going out to a total of, we have a few people here. Okay. Alrighty, so the first, we're just going to list them in order. So we have, of course, the Patreon shout out does go out to Keisha L. Once again, thank you so much for your support and for you continue to rock with us here on Patreon. And then the next Patreon shout out goes out to MK Han. Thank you so much for being a new supporter to the Patreon, and your support is very much appreciated. And then the final Patreon shout out goes out to Dia. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's spelled DEA. But shout out to you and thank you so much for becoming a new patron on the Patreon. And we are going to get straight into the episode 15 reaction. However, if you're watching this on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed, because we are on the long road to 1,000 subscribers, and every day we get a whole heck of a lot closer to that goal. And also, do not forget to give this video a good thumbs up, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. And also, don't forget to comment down below if you would like to do that as well. But without further ado, we are going to get straight into the reaction for real this time and see what we are going to see regarding Dr. Choi's health. Hopefully all will be well, but we don't know yet. Dr. Kim has been on her about taking her medication, and she's been missing it because of all the events that have been going on in the family and at the hospital. So she's been missing her medication. And I'm hoping her body is not rejecting the liver, because that could be what's going on. What?
물론 조직 검사를 해봐야 알겠지만 거부 반응이나 급성 간부전일 가능성이 있습니다.
면역 억제제 몇 번 안 먹었다고 그렇게 돼요?
일단 빨리 입원해서 조직 검사하고
All this?
스테로이드 치료.
Wow. She's just in shock, that's all. I think it's more than likely that her body is rejecting the transplant. I don't think it's liver failure. I just think it's just rejecting the transplant.
기억하죠?
네.
연락이 없으셔서 신뢰를 무릅쓰고 찾아왔어요.
I don't like his family, his biological family, okay? This is one of those rare cases where it's better to never know who they are, because they're literally assholes. The fact that y'all are all well off and you don't even have an explanation as to why he was given up for adoption in the first place, because nobody was broke. His father is a very wealthy man. His siblings are very wealthy people. At the very least, it would be giving upper middle class. At the very least. So there's no excuse that they can ever give as to why they literally chose to abandon him and let other people who are not his biological family members raise him in another country. There's just no excuse for that. And then to try to get in contact with him just so he can give a portion of his good health to a man that didn't raise him, I think the hell not. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't care what she gotta say. It will always be no. It'll always get somebody else to do it. Or you can ask either one of your siblings or one of your kids, because I know y'all got kids and y'all probably old enough to have grandkids who could try to see if they're a donor for a person that they grew up with, instead of asking the person that you literally allowed to be given away and ousted from the family and closed off from the family for decades for help. That's just shady.
많이 가는 거겠죠.
Oh, he's gonna give it to Dr. Choi, isn't he?
부탁해요.
Oh, he's gonna see if he can donate. Oh, wow.
그럼 내가 읽는다. 읽지 마. 안 들려.
I love this.
이렇게 하면 안 들려. 절대로 안 들려. 사실이 너무나 명백하기 때문에 소송에서는 당연히 불리합니다.
아, 그럼 재산은요? 이혼하면 재산 뺏기나요?
재산
300 million won, y'all.
저는 집이잖아.
It's approximately $300,000. I would never give somebody that I do not know $300,000 of anything, let alone $300,000, because that's insane. Okay? That's insane. You are asking for the worst to happen. And it did. So, did she bring it upon herself? Yes, she did. Why? Because nobody in their right mind would give a stranger that you just met, that you just started dating, quote unquote, $300,000 for anything, especially not for an investment. Because I'm like, what does this man know about investing? Does he have a degree in finance? Is he like a practicing finance broker, financial advisor? Is he even associated with the bank in Korea? Like, was she even asking the right questions? And it's crazy to believe that somebody with as much money as her would fall for that so simply and easily. But we see the son that she raised, so that tracks. But they just gonna be out that 300,000 for sure, or that 300 million won because it's worth more in Korea. But this is on her. I'm like, you can't. I wouldn't even give somebody like it would be a stretch for me to give somebody I don't know 1,000 to invest, let alone 300,000. Even if I had the money, I'm like, you will never see it. Okay, because I research my own investments, or I consult with somebody with an actual bank or who actually has knowledge and is a professional in measuring how the stock market will go. Not just a random older hipster I met and started interacting with on a romantic level. Is she allowed herself to be wooed with a scarf and a few dinners and lunches? We have to raise our standards as women, because that's just sad.
그 재산 만들 때 당신이 뭐 일조한 거라도 있어?
Yes.
말이 되는 소리를 해.
Okay, like not, and I'm sorry y'all if I keep pausing it, but this man is so dumb and his mother is just leading the helm of stupidity in this family. And they just really need to be disconnected from the whole family tree at this point. Because the fact that he said, did you even contribute to the assets? Number one, yes, she did. Because her supporting you is the only reason why you even have assets to this day. She was the one, not you or your mother, taking care of your sick father until the day he died. Her. Someone who's not related to that man by blood. She married into the family, and yet you or your mother, who are biologically and your mom is romantically tied to that man, couldn't do what she was able to do. What Dr. Choi did for how many years she did up until he passed away while he was sick. She did that. She also took care of your kids, which are your heirs to your legacy. She did that. Not you, because everybody in the world know you a bad father. Okay? You not just to 1 and 2, but even that secret third child. You are a horrible father all the way around. Like, your kids don't really like you. They're just obligated to respect you because you're literally their dad. You just a name on the family register that they're connected to. So they gotta acknowledge you. I'm like, that's really it. And the fact that he thinks that she didn't contribute, she made sure that the kids was taken care of, made sure that you were taken care of, made sure that your mother was taken care of, made sure your father was taken care of. If anything, y'all owe her money for her distress. Okay, and let's not forget the events of episodes 1 and 2, where you were refusing to give her a liver, and she could have died. Really though? But he wants to talk about, what did you contribute? Sir, the bigger question is, what did you contribute outside of your little money that she could have been making had she went on to be a doctor and you stayed at home? You know, this man is really bold. Divorce, divorce, divorce at this point, really.
제 마지막 환자세요. 그래서 꼭 건강하게 퇴원시켜드리고 싶어요. 하신다면 네, 그러실 수 있습니다. 일단 P2 그런 것도 많이들 당하잖아.
Y'all, like, I don't know if it's like this around the world, but specifically in Asian countries, specifically Korea, you carry the weight of your family member's debt. So if your mom had a debt, you have that debt if they can't pay it. If your dad had a debt, you have that debt if they can't pay it. If your sibling has a debt, you have that debt if they can't pay it. If your child has a debt, you have that debt if they can't pay it. Y'all get what I mean? If your grandparent had a debt, you have that debt if they can't pay it. So, like, it's just really odd to me that you would make other people responsible for the debt that one person chose to, like, get on their own. But apparently it has to do with, like, your family name and reputation and yada, yada, yada. But for some reason, that's a really big deal. I'm not sure why or if that's smart in the long run, but that's just how it is in Korea as of right now. I'm hoping that they get rid of it though, because especially for people who are estranged from their family, like children who are estranged from their parents because they're horrible parents and they have debt, and now their horrible parents' debt is their debt. That's not fair. Or parents who have horrible children, like they gave them everything and they're just choosing to do everything wrong. That ain't fair. Or if you don't talk to your grandparents, because let's say they're just evil and your parents don't even talk to them, but when let's say they die of unnatural circumstances or natural circumstances, and now their debt is y'all's debt. Like, that doesn't seem right. If you got that kind of a relationship, even if you didn't have anything estranged about the family, I'm not paying for a debt I didn't make. I'm like, it's up to you as a grown adult to pay that off however you see fit. You know, whatever way they choose to ask you to pay for it. But asking me to pay your debt just because we're family? Weird. I'm like, blood is thicker than water, but I ain't paying your debt for you. Trust. You don't trust, unless it's like to a loan shark or something, then maybe I can help you out with a little loan, but you will be paying me back. You know? But because I'm like, we don't have really loan sharks in the States. It's just called banks. But you know, in Korea, they do. They're like third-party sellers, and some of them are really not nice when you don't pay on time and have high interest. But yeah, I don't get that. That was just always an odd thing that I thought shouldn't be a thing, but it is in Korean society. And I'm hoping they do abolish it, like completely dismantle it, never have it again at this point, because it's just not beneficial to innocent people or people in general to hold a debt that you didn't accumulate yourself. It's accumulated by someone you're related to. That just seems really ridiculous to me. But that's just how I feel about it.
제가 이식받은 간이 안 좋아져서 다시 입원 치료를 해야 될 것 같습니다. 제가 저한테요? 말도 안 돼요, 교수님.
왜 말이 안 되죠? 나를 전혀 돌보지도 않은 사람이 간도 크니까 조금 잘라내도 괜찮아요. BJ가 병원까지 찾아왔더라고. 이게 다 당신 덕분이지 뭐.
He's so all about him. It's ridiculous.
당신 어머니
나 진짜 길바닥에 나갈게 생겼어.
Nobody cares if you're gonna be homeless, sir. You technically will make money from selling the house, so sell it.
아무리 그 와이프 병원 그만두는
Feel ashamed, sir. Because you've been doing some shameful things since the season started.
사람 나타나면 전화할 거야.
왜 나를 이렇게 끝까지 쓰레기로 만들어?
Now, I know he playing. Why do you always make me out to be the bastard? That's because everything you say or do is constantly giving bastard. She ain't making you to be out anything. Your actions and your words speak louder than anything anybody could say about you. You live, you walk, you talk, you breathe, and you speak like a bastard. Sir, with all due disrespect, and anybody with a brain can see those tendencies in you. Okay, Dr. Choi is out here tired, and you yelling at her. That's bastard behavior. You came into her hospital room while she's sick. You know she has fluid in her lungs. You know there's some issues going on with her intestines. You know her liver is failing. And you're choosing to yell at her, pick a fight, and say what you're going to do for her when she didn't ask for your liver. Bastard behavior. I mean, she really just said, I would rather die than have your liver in my body. And I feel her on that. Because out of all the mess that he's caused her, all the stress over the years, all the verbal abuse, and the physical toll that that's taken on her body, just abusing her and abusing her love for the family over and over and over again, every day that she's been married to you, every day she's been involved with you before you were even married. Just constantly and constantly and constantly, mentally, physically, and spiritually draining her for your own selfish desires. Of course, she would rather die than have you anything to do with you inside of her body again. Because it's literally what he's sitting at the table he's prepared for herself. You have made her dislike everything about you. The only redeeming quality about you is the fact that you are the father of her two gorgeous children that she loves. And that is the only thing that is keeping her from throwing him out of this room. Okay? That's the only thing that was keeping her married to you. Because trust and believe, if she hadn't got pregnant, you would have never been the one that she was with in the first place. She got married to you for the sake of her son, who was at that time an unborn child. And I'm like, this man don't even get it. Why is the hospital and the funeral home right next to each other in the first place? That just seems oddly ominous. No, y'all both deserve better than to be entangled with that loser.
남자의 순종, 헌신, 모르겠냐? 나 진짜 로이 교수님이 너네 엄마한테 간이시켜주려고
내가 결정은
I think she's pointing to the motorcycle in back of him. They out here playing games, y'all. They playing games, okay? But I feel like Dr. Choi might not need either of their livers if they're able to successfully treat her with the steroids. But they have to do the biopsy. Like he said, we won't know until we have a full biopsy. So I think they're going to get into the full biopsy results in episode 16. And then we're going to really see if she will really need that liver transplant from either of them. I really feel like her husband is going to chicken out again. So I feel like Dr. Kim is going to be the best choice because he's steady. He's committed in his decisions, and he's not going to back out. Her husband, that man, I don't want to call him a loser, but that's exactly what he is. And I don't like using that term, but like he fits it. It's giving very much scum of the earth. It's giving very much dirt bag, bastard, like he said. It's giving very much all of those things. And you just can't come back from that and it not be sincere, because he is not sincerely trying to change. I don't think we're going to see a sincere character shift or character development from him until episode 16, and most likely in the last couple of minutes when everything he once had has been taken away because of his own bad decisions. That's when we'll finally see him get character development, because people like that don't typically change unless the way life like evolves around them makes them change. So unless it's happening to them directly, unless it's directly affecting them, they won't make the necessary developments that they know that they're lacking in until their back is against the wall. So yeah, we probably won't be seeing that until the very last couple of minutes from episode 16 from him. But we already knew that. We knew that since episode 1. He is selfish. He is just not a good person. Dr. Choi deserves better. Even his mistress deserves better. But yet they just happen to be entangled with this type of an individual. And it's kind of really sad. But you know, you live and you learn. They were young. Now they're older women with kids. And they can finally evolve from this period of their life. Because he's just somebody who was present in their younger formative years. And really the first person that these two women were interacting with on like a physical intimacy level and then on an emotional intimacy level that they weren't related to. So that's why they have such a hard time unraveling that attachment, because he represents their youth and what they had at that time that they were young. And sometimes that could be a lot harder to let go than we realize, even into our adulthood. Like the people that we loved when we were 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, you don't realize how hard it is to break away from a person, even when you know that they're toxic, when you have had that long of a history with them. Or when they were your first something, whether it was your first sexual partner, your first kiss, your first boyfriend, your first girlfriend, you know, you don't understand how deep it can go until you have to make the choice, I need to get away from them because they're bad for me. And then you realize how hard it is sometimes mentally to detangle yourself from all of the memories that you had that were good with that person. And that's kind of what Dr. Choi and Dr. Choi is going through. They just need to get past that point. And they're getting there. They're getting there, okay? But yeah, that's my reaction to episode 15. I'm excited to see. I know that Dr. Choi is going to be with us. Our good sis going to survive this series, okay? I know she's going to get healed. I don't know how, but I know it's going to happen for her. So yeah, we're good though. But that is my reaction to episode 15. And let me know what y'all think in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube or Patreon. And if you're watching this on Patreon, do not forget to give this video a good thumbs up because that helps with the algorithm. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel because of course we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And every day we get a whole heck of a lot closer. And until next time, y'all, I will see you on the next reaction. Bye.